Wait, A or B stream?
I do not, B stream, apparently. It's on.
Oh my god, alright, give me 1 second, I gotta friggin'
No, you're fine. So simple explanation right now, I'll explain a bit more during the second thing afterward, is that right now Turkey and Portugal are playing for the very last spot in the Conference Cup for the qualifiers. 4 of them are taken, this is down to the last one. So, everything is on the line here for both Turkey and Portugal, and for Farouk, they are down right now. Portugal have plenty of ultimates on the point right now. They're looking beautiful over here on Sanctuary.
Yeah, Portugal gonna be at 56%. I did manage to find a link.
Oh yeah, we are right? Yes, speed up and I will take over because we are at 77 right now.
Oh, awesome word.
Yeah, so I will keep going. It's 80% right now. Braven has a pulse bomb, technically has the touch available, but it's not looking super pretty right now because Portugal are about to have all 5 ultimates. They're going to try to pull in so many bodies with this as they're going to be able to get everybody out alive, but that's only a temporary reprieve as Rafa takes Farouk back into the spawn room and takes care of him. And unfortunately for this right here, it's looking like we're going to have to go to a third and final round here. Sound barrier online. Cabby would love to go up in the air and hit this bomb right here. Cabby, though, is going to get launched out, is not going to be able to live, and it's just going to be so staggered as we'll head into our third and final one here as Bob tries and will not make it.
Deploying explosive.
Yeah, just making it a 100-0 situation. Turkey gonna make it going to submap number 3. We do not know what the bans are. No information about what those
can't
are.
listen. Can someone type? Let me. I'll take care of that really fast.
Okay, cool.
How you feeling about this third one though? We didn't get to see what happened on the first round, but here we are now.
I mean, we're hitting tab, and it looks like Farouk and Ayumi are just getting ran down on cooldown. They both have 7 deaths, in both situations as Lethal also seems to not be doing as much. Yeah, it has a lot of damage, but not a lot of limbs. So right now it is looking like this is going to be the last sub-map for this map, as I believe this should be favoring the composition of Turkey. But we'll have to find out, of course. I think before Portugal did take the first map anyways, so we are gonna have to see as they come together. As wow, Rafa taking 1 trillion damage.
Yeah. Brilliant indeed. Is able to stay alive for now, though, as they're going to be able to at least keep control of the initial air right now as Portugal playing indoors again. Maybe plays a little more into what Cabby wants to be able to do right now. It's 4 with that Ramatra, and hey, worked out decently for them before, just weren't able to clutch up at the very end here. As Cabby is in super deep right now, maybe too far. As Lethal takes a trade, Dink Punk kicks super low as well. It's back into a 4v3. You need to find a couple of these big elims right here, right now. If you are Turkey's, Lethal's forced into the corner, needs some care, isn't going to get it in time. And Roth FD is eventually, or Roth FD is going to go down as Brahma tries, is going to probably surrender this point.
Yeah, as Braven going to be able to take down Kurama at the very last moment. Turkey going to have a 2 support DPS ults coming online, had the High Noon and the Pulse Bomb. A little bit behind in terms of their supports. Rod going to be technically ahead only by like 15%. But we'll have to find out in the future. As we do see Rafa also swapping over to the Ramatra, the Mirror, as Turkey going to be holding this nice choke, as they could potentially open up with the High Noon here, but they don't really need it considering that the Emery is already taken off the board, making it a 4v5.
Yeah, it's really nice work to force them back right here, as all of Portugal is trying to get out alive. That they shall, as already worrying about some of these ultimates, and look at it, Farouk way behind compared to Rod FD. Dang Pancake a little bit behind by Ayumi, but as things are right now, Turkey might have to focus more on these DPS ultimates to buy them some space right now, because without Rafa over on something like the Eraser to prevent it, that could do a lot of damage, but Lethal is currently struggling to hang in there. Eventually is going to be able to do so, but with the Consumer Rush now available for one side, Turkey is going to pull that trigger right here and now, and Rafa is barely going to hang around. Farouk is getting so low. Kalent is there as well. Annihilation to try to run down everyone. It is utter chaos going on right now, but it's going to a 4v4 back over onto the way. Dink Punk Cake down, and unfortunately for this Portuguese squad, it's looking like they're going to fall just short on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds are going to be able to... Nice shot onto Karama, actually. So it is going to be a nice fight win for the side of Turkey, but they had to blow a lot of ults in order to get the job done. So Portugal are going to have a little bit of advantage, both their DPS ults coming up on an Annihilation and a Rush. So Portugal going to have to play this a little fast. They might, you know, here's the problem, though, is if Portugal gets a little nervous, yeah, Turkey going to go really fast here with this beat, and Portugal going to have to use ults in order to get out of their spawn.
Oh, and yeah, there's a lot of people that get low, unfortunately, but is it going to pay off? Tabby's low. It's a 2v2, and unfortunately, I don't know if you can win this legitimately. You're down to a 1v1, and it's just freaking Ayumi who's going to give their all. Give them absolute credit right here. They're going to be able to get back and reset once more as they are headed into a very rough affair, as there is a ton of ultimates for Portugal.
Yeah, we are going to know right now that Turkey is going to be in a 99%. Just need to win a single fight, and they are coming up on a lot of ults in order to do so. Kabi taking a little bit of damage is going to have the force back a lot of the players. Raven going to be looking at this Kiriko, but does get dinged, has the recall already forced, as Lethal is able to find the kill onto the Emre. Kabi gets taken down incredibly low. There's a TP Suzu, as Braven is also able to fall. This Rafa is going to be on the objective still, as Lethal drops for some incredibly unknown reason. As oh, nice shot.
It's because her name's Lethal, apparently. As Rafa is going to let loose in this room, but it's a 3v1. There's nothing you can do, as Pulse Bomb's going to be thrown out. Lethal is caught. It is just Karama and Tiogolini hanging around, and Tiogolini is going to have to pull the trigger and see what happens right here. Karama does have time to set up for these touches right here. He's able to get one. We'll be able to find a second with the recall as well. But as things stand, they're getting wiped off the board. Turkey are going to take away your first map, one away from claiming the final spot.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Turkey there. It was a little scary after that second round, considering we didn't also get to see the first round. But no, it started from a 0 to 100 to Lethal getting the job done on the Cassidy. Not going to be able to see the play of the game, however, as we are going to be backing out almost instantaneously. As right now, we're just going to be waiting for that next map to get underway. Beautiful stuff there for the beginning, as Turkey are going to make this a 1-0 situation, as Portugal now backs against the wall. They are going to get map pick and first ban, however, so we'll have to see where they take us.
I'm sure we'll find out very quickly what route they decide to do. I love the fact that Cabby decided, clearly D.Va not working out, they made the swap instead. I love the route that they have opted to go for when it comes to instead, hey, let's just opt to go with the Ramatra instead. We think it's going to work out really well for us, especially when we can play a little more inside, where I think they seem to be maybe a little bit more comfortable. Because while Lethal is good inside or out, it's a thing of, I think Kabi plays better when you have the agency of being indoors and having less wiggle room, so it feels like there is more of a linear path to take, which I think works out in their favor, personally.
Yeah, I definitely think that is the case, as... okay, sorry, just making sure I didn't miss anything. As yeah, it is going to be a really nice start for Turkey. They can breathe a little easier taking that first map, of course. Not the job's not done though just yet. Nope. They do need to make sure to take the second map or potentially the third one, but they do have a little bit of breathing room in order to work with, or that they have to work with, I guess would be the saying. As right now, we're just waiting for map number 2 to be underway, as Turkey have a chance to secure their spot into the qualifiers here. Can be the 5th and final team making it in. We've been covering them this entire weekend from start to finish. And here we are at the finish line. We have to make sure not to trip over our own feet. Is that tough?
Yeah, I would prefer not to, quite frankly. I would love to not trip over my own feet.
Well, let's not do that, shall we?
We'll find out very quickly whether we will or will not. But as things stand right now, we're just waiting for everything for the second map to be confirmed. And again, we're probably not going to know what the bans are unless it's something incredibly obvious. Like, we just don't see, remember back on Atlas where it was double Moira. We're like, yeah, I think the Kiriko's banned.
Yeah, that was definitely something to that we were like, wait a minute. So yeah, no, I definitely do think that that is something to be.
Always something there to remind me.
To remind me. Sorry, that made me. That was good.
It's a very good song.
Sorry, I got a DM. Just let me answer this real quick.
Yeah, you can do whatever you need to do. Oh, I'm just checking out some stuff from earlier on. Just wanted to find a screenshot. Can I find a proper screenshot? That's the question. Can Hunter find things properly? Oh, if I up the quality, it might look a little better. All right, but we're still waiting on this one to get underway. It's been a long one. It's been a long day, but it's all gonna end here in the next map or two, depending on how this goes down. And it very well could be a scenario where, hey, maybe they simply force Atlas, get rid of the Ramacha, force them to go down a different avenue, because I think Cabby so far, as good as that diva is, I think it has been figured out at this point. So I think their best route, realistically, is to force more of that diva and try to make them play into a bit of a brawl that I think maybe Portugal would be very comfortable taking. I mean, we look back at how this game originally went down, because remember, this is one of the few games where this is a rematch from earlier on, and not just early on throughout the weekend, but earlier today, for that matter, we had a match between these two teams right here. And just pulling up how the direct results were, because I don't want to, and we don't want to gaslight anybody here today.
This is true. Don't gaslight people, folks.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, so they ended up winning on Busan, Portugal did, and then that's when Turkey clutched it up back over on Atlas, and then that's when, or they clutched it on Havana, and then they went and won on Atlas a bit handedly, quite frankly. But we'll see where they're going to go here, as I hear a little bit of the birds chirping away, as it's looking like we're going to get our second and potential final map of the night underway. That is if they decide to show the screen itself. We're going to find out very quickly. Did they swap to the... What the...
Wait, they're on the A stream now?
Oh, no. Okay, no. This is a seeder game. This is a seed decider game. This has nothing to do with who's going to make it. They're doing this to decide who the third seed is.
You scared me.
To be fair, it came up because I just heard like things and I'm like, what are they doing? So just referencing right now, Austria and Ireland are currently playing on the A stream right now to determine the third seed, and whoever loses that will be the fourth seed, and then whoever wins this game between Portugal and Turkey is going to be the fifth and final seed. That is the scenario at hand. Honestly, I have no prioritization of this match personally. I don't care a ton. I'm very invested in this, and I think when this match right here is done, that's probably going to be our day here. Unless you want to stay on your own stream and watch it, that's perfectly your own agency. But when this game's over, that will be my evening right there.
Maybe. I've seen it this far out. Maybe I'll get the job done. I haven't decided yet, though.
We'll find out.
Maybe if Turkey win this map, then sure.
Yeah, because like if it was a regular day, sure. But I still have Mania, and that starts about an hour and 40 minutes from right now, and I still have to go shower again, take like a 15-minute drive, and everything that comes in between. So yeah. I'm a little cooked right now. I can't lie.
I would love to sleep, so maybe I don't. Maybe I just call it after Turkey. That could be the move. As we're just waiting for this map to be selected and to go on in. It's taking so long.
See how it goes down. Is we're just waiting. So if we win this qualifier, when do we play against Belgium again? Well, I hate to tell you, buddy. I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not, but Belgium did not make the cut. Belgium went 3-3, so they do not have a chance to qualify. Honestly, what would be really cool is I really hope a lot of the teams No, they did not qualify, no. Unfortunately, they fell just short. Belgium's last game, or actually the last game they lost to Ireland, which took them out of the running. They did beat Israel to finish their day, but unfortunately they went 3-3, and that just it just wasn't enough ultimately to put them in that position. So hey, maybe we'll see a show match down the line. Maybe we'll see that down the line. We've seen a lot of those, because I really hope some of these countries decide to stay involved with the scene, because if things stay involved, all these players, all these teams, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they decide to go back to back with the World Cup. Who knows? It's just a hope. But one thing I tell you right now is we're focused back in on this game. One thing I can say right here, Tiegolini is coming in for DPS on this one. Actually, Warrior's coming in as well, actually. Double swap up.
Oh.
I feel pretty certain on that, right? Am I gaslighting?
I think Tiegolini was in last time, but I don't know if that's true.
Okay, no, Tiegolini was. Dank Punkank was in, and Warrior is taking their place on this one. That's what's happening. So Hunter has corrected himself. He is dumb. Flicko, I'm sorry. I am quite dumb in the head.
5, 4,
But either way,
2,
for Portugal, it is their life on the line in the tournament here, as they're going to come out with the titular Zarya over here. Try to find something. Rafa, to be fair, has been running this Zarya pretty frequently throughout the weekend thus far. We'll see what they can do here in this rematch of Turkey versus Portugal.
Yeah. A couple of interesting swaps here. It looks like that Lucio or maybe the Kiriko was taken off the board, as we do see interesting comps on both sides, as it is the Wu Yang and Baptiste from the side of Turkey. Definitely haven't seen a lot of BAP today. But we'll have to find out, of course, as Ralph's going to be walking up here with these bubbles coming online here. Getting a little bit charged here, but Kabi doing a nice job making sure not to give up too much space. So right now, it's just seeming like this is a little back and forth endeavor.
Yeah, it is back and forth. Rafa, though, is hanging on by a thread and is going to be able to get plenty of care to be able to back up out of there. So we'll see what ends up going down here, as we were very excited for Farouk to be playing the Wu Yang, which, to be fair, I kind of like it as well, as we'll see if Rafa can actually get through the choke right now, as Kabi eventually going to be forced back further and further. And your biggest source of success really is going to be taking Kabi out of this fight as fast as possible.
Yeah, it looks like Rod is going to be building up so much ult charge towards the Nano, but this window is coming online and also relatively reasonable. Wait, as am I a little bit behind?
Yeah, that's why I didn't say too much. I like, ooh, that's a big blow right now. But I'll give you a moment to catch up here as it is cleaning up. Just being on forward, because we just had to clean up their Tiegolini goes down. Braven did fall, but Braven is on that Tracer, so that should be that. There you go, perfect. Oh, now you're ahead.
Dang it, dang it.
All right, just stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. You are fine. No, I mean, not literally stop, but like, don't do anything. You're fine as you are.
Okay, not doing anything.
All right, perfect. All right. Hey, well, Nano's on the line right now, ready to go on this fight for Rod FD. Probably gonna throw it on the Tiegolini, I imagine, trying to hit this overclock once it's online. That's just an assumption, because we're about to have all 10 ultimates online. Oh, God.
Yeah. This is going to be a huge ult fight, as Kabi taking 1 trillion damage. Going to have to back up a little bit. Nano is online here. Could get that to that Zarya. The grab did come through, as who knows what will be the outcome here. The that grab is going to be able to come through. Mixed supports on either side, as Nano coming on to Rafa as well. Making things a little bit more interesting, but I don't know how the rest of Turkey are going to be able to survive. 87 charge on a Nano means Rafa just tears through everybody.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's nobody going to be back quick enough to reset and touch the point. But the bright side is, everybody gets forward spawns. They can set up on this high ground very easily. And because of how that fight ended, Turkey do still have a majority of their ultimates. I think very convenient ones as well, that can be used to potentially hold this high ground very efficiently.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Lethal is going to be able to sit onto this high ground for relatively free, as it's going to be difficult for anybody to really contest him unless Kurama going to go on a massive lane. Kabi is a little too far up, I think, personally. I mean, barely going to be able to... Oh, Portugal's not going to be able to connect this. Farouk is taken down, as Kurama going to be able to find a little bit more value there. But Portugal only really have a overclock online, nothing else on the table, as the Lulian bubble was one of the only ults that Turkey had, but Annihilation is still there.
We'll see what goes down. It's a lot of really good progress here for Portugal already. Now Kabi, I think just dropped down. Kabi? Yeah, drop down actually. He's going to take this fight right here. Second Graviton Surge going to be online soon as Kabi needs care now. Has to pop the Annihilation just to stay alive. Needs literally anything right now. As Braven's going to be given this stun. Is going to be able to find one with it as RFD going to go down. As Braven going to be able to pull out of there alive as the reset has to be used by Portugal.
Yeah, really good stuff there from the side of Turkey in order to get the stop, but they did pop their 2 ults in order to get the job done. So now Portugal going to have a little bit of an advantage. They're going to be on 4 ults, as right now is looking like this is going either way. This Overwatch still available, as right now Kabi just doing a nice job making sure that this cart isn't pushed underneath at all.
We'll see what it is right now. Window going to be used from a high. That accretion going to be, or I should say, amplification can be difficult to deal with right here, but there's a lot about the online for Portugal. Once more, you would love to win this fight without having to use the Graviton Surge, but right now it's the Nano Tiogolini who's trying to find anybody, but Immortality Field Shield's blocking all that away as the Bob seems to be the biggest issue with all. Tiogolini going to drop down over on the ground. Cabby has to hold that block for as long as humanly possible as we see the back and forth exchange, but Kurama is going to bring it back their way, and Cabby, unfortunately, is probably going to have to take this L over on the point. Here's Farouk and Braven are on the run.
Yeah, really good stuff there from the side of Portugal in order to get the job done. They do pop that grab as it's difficult for Turkey to deal with it. Oh, please don't die here. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of a recontest as there's a minute and 30 left on the clock. Turkey don't really have anything besides a pulse bomb available, so Portugal have an advantage here. They have the bubble, they have the pulse bomb, so that can be used in combination to maybe take out Kabi, who's been taking a lot of damage this entire time. But we'll have to find out as the pulse not going to be able to connect. But Wario taken off the board. That's going to be a really good opening pick here as a another one. Ooh.
Yeah, big sleep on the Cabby. It's going to be able to give them time to back out of there right there. But even though you do catch lethal, unfortunately, this feels too far gone. I think Rafa, I don't know where Rafa is in terms of everything, but for Kurama, they're in the back line now.
That's weird. No, yeah, 50 seconds left on the clock. Annihilation and the support ults coming online here for the side of Turkey. Portugal doesn't really have anything besides a nano, besides their own support ults. So it's going to really come down to the battle of the support ults here. Hopefully Lethal can build up this Bob in time. But right now it's looking like this could be either side. Oh my god, Lethal's taking 1 trillion damage. Has to back up from the poke as the Tracer is going to pressure them out a little bit. Braven gets hit with the nade, gets taken out of the equation as the bubble gets applied to both. Lethal kind of accepted fate there for a hot minute. Obviously taking way too much damage. Just going to take a Tracer to the head. Annihilation blows up. Wow, that's going to be an incredible fight, and this could actually go the way of Turkey.
Yeah, it's massive right now. 10 seconds left. Right though does have the nano ready to go right here. Might have to throw on Tiogolini, who is just separated away, and now it's thrown over onto Rafa. It's your last solution. It's all you got left to throw in. Farouk, 98% away, is gonna fall over, so now things still alive. Lethal could be thrown back, but you see the trading fee to come through from the supports as Gotta be doing everything they can to stay in here right now, but it's gonna be Ayumi forcing back further and further, but it does not matter. Portugal is thrown far back. A title blast gonna clean this one up, and now Turkey's finish line is directly before them.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Turkey in order to get that hold. Like I said before, we just see Midtown again getting held right before second point. I'm getting deja vu. So now Turkey, very achievable goal. They just need to push it to that objective point right then and there and get the job done. 105.39 meters is all that separates Turkey from the Conference Cup and making it to the EMEA qualifiers.
That's all it's going to take right there. We'll see what ends up happening. We are still locked and loaded. Turkey still have a job to do. Getting through the choke is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. Is Portugal going to do everything they can to keep them at bay? Is it going to go back to the same Zarya competitions, or are we going to see something different? And for the time being, nothing different on the board here as Rafa back on that Zarya, and we'll see what Turkey wants to throw our way. And Charlie tells me that Sierra is not a serious pick as of this moment.
Yeah, I completely doubt it as a Turkey. I mean, actually, I have been seeing a little bit of success with a couple of my friends on Sierra recently, but of course that could just be the ranked mindset. They did, hot fix them, giving them a lot more damage as an output, but still, who knows from which side as right now. I mean, Turkey have an achievable goal in front of them as it's going to be close up between these two matchups, and it does look like Lethal is going to be going on the Sierra for the start being.
Okay. I don't mind it. Why not?
New character?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of memeing. How dare you, Lethal? Well, we can say that Sierra was playing the World Cup now. To be fair, we could say that before anyway, but, you know, it is what it is. But we're back into this exchange right now. Lethal on the Cassidy. Gonna see, it's gonna try to burn down and just keep Kurama at bay as much as possible, but Kurama has enough to deal with Raven so far, the star that's had to come in this weekend here to fill that DPS position, and so far has done a good job of it, but Farouk is suffering right now as Cabby falls over, and unfortunately this should be a fight reset here for the Turkish squad.
Yeah, Farouk is going to fall. It's going to be a reset for Turkey. Really good fight there from Portugal, kind of just blowing up that Ramatra almost instantaneously, as it is going to be a quick reset. Not a lot of time lost, however, as Lethal did farm up a little bit of all charges with the Ayumi, but Portugal's still going to be ahead. This is going to be a really hard one for Turkey to deal with. How do you deal with this Zarya? As Lethal getting taken down is going to be a little bit of a problem.
It is currently a little bit of an issue right now. As Braven also gone. This is what Portugal needs to do, though, by the way. They have to play the super aggro style where they press up on you, and that's what's worked with them so far throughout the entire weekend, by the way. It's what really got them that, keeping that game between them as close as it was earlier on. So Farouk is going to give up on that, go over towards the Lucio. They're going to try to play faster in their own right.
Yeah, I think it's a smart idea. You kind of can't lose people in the rotates, and I think the Lucio definitely prevents that from happening. Nice shot from Lethal there, as they are going to swap over to the Ashe. Could build up a Bob, potentially, as there's 2 minutes on the clock. A nice setup here onto this high ground. Kabi's just taking so much damage. It's so difficult to play this Ramatra into the Zarya, as, I mean, you're just constantly going to be always critical. Look at their health bar. Look at their health bar. They're always critical. As Braven going to be building up this bomb as an overclock. Just utilize it.
Oh, what? Grab misses? Wait, what? Rafa, buddy, pal, that's not how Grabbers on Surf works. I promise you, it's not how it works. But Farouk is down anyway. Kevin would love to grab the Mega Health Pack, but it's not going to happen here as Lethal's trying to get 1 tick here, and they get the tick. I mean, give them credit. It's something.
A lot of ults used for the side of Portugal, however. They used Overclock, they used the grab, not able to connect on anything. Portugal still have both their support ults available, and Turkey not really having that much on the table. Yumi did pop that window, is going to be a little bit behind, but Farouk not really that high in terms of the beat. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for Turkey to get through this, as this is looking a little dangerous right now.
It is dangerous right now, but you got some good things coming up over here with the Annihilation, but Portugal still has a lot working. Big stun over onto Farouk. It's doubled down on right now, but still, you take the trade out, and Kabi's going to run full forward. Needs to do everything they can to try to burn away Rafa right now, who is getting the nano, is getting every bit of care in the world here, as even Braven can't even really get in there to touch anybody. This feels like it should be Turkey's to roll on forward, but now they're struggling to find anything.
Yeah, Turkey looking like this could potentially go to a map. Number 3, Lethal finds 1 onto Rod, but Braven taken down almost immediately. The Bob is still available as we are approaching 40 seconds left. This is a last fight territory. Portugal don't have anything in the back pocket. This Bob is going to be all that decides this last fight. They could potentially build up a beat also. It's going to be difficult to find out as we do approach this last engagement, as Kurama going to be tracing over with Braven. There's the Bob going to be going for the objective, but it's going to be taking a lot of damage. So now oh, nice couple of damages, and Braven taken out, but Rafa is also traded, so it looks like they're going to be able to set up on this objective, and I don't know if there's going to be a touch here from the side of Portugal.
There's definitely going to be a touch. They're going to try for it. Rafa's coming back over on the Diva to get back as fast as humanly possible, but you see initial touch over on the point. Kurama going to be able to get it as Rafa forcing their way back into the fight. Kurama close to going down, but Turkey has to find literally anything right now. Farouk is around the corner from having this sound barrier. 99% lets it loose, and it is here just in time as Rafa is taken out of the mech. Tiagalini getting forced out of the fight. Rafa and Kurama doing a really good job stalling as Tiagalini is trying to clutch it up right now. They're doing their darndest to hang in here. It's down to a 2v3 over on the point. Kabi is all alone, and Portugal are going to clutch it up and force a third map.
And we're going to go all the way to 3 maps here. This could be a situation in which Portugal reverse sweep Turkey. They are going to be able to... it's now going to be Turkey's map pick and first ban, which definitely could affect the outcome, but it is not going to be in the cards for Turkey to win this so easily. So we are here on the very last map. I could try to pull up. I'm gonna find the A stream just so I can. How's the seeding one going right now?
I have not been looking at it in the slightest, quite frankly. I was very much clear, about I don't care about this game all that much, but it's looking like Ireland took the first one. I think. Yeah. It's just a seeding game ultimately. There's honestly, I feel like there's a high likelihood it ends in map 2. That's just my opinion.
Opinione, I get it. I'll take a quick gander as what is this? This is the B stream, the A stream, just real quickly. Yeah, unfortunate there for Turkey. Going to be going over to a map 3 situation, but it's definitely possible. I think that it can definitely be either way. As Zydra played Sierra. That's definitely interesting.
Why not? Straight.
Why not? I get it.
We shall see soon.
I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for Turkey to come on back. We can get that final map underway.
All right. Just waiting on one final one, everybody. One final map to end this evening. In this very, very long, what has now become a morning, an afternoon, and very soon an evening, as a matter of fact. So we'll see what goes down from here.
We're coming up on 9 hours now for the stream. This has been a long conference cup to cast. I just felt my voice kind of crack a little bit there. I think
you will feel it tomorrow.
Yeah. I've casted, like, there was a tournament in which I was supposed to only do half of the playoffs for the whole day, but instead the other half backed out, so I was doing the whole day of playoffs. So it was 10 hours of casting, and I was doing play-by-play the whole time for Marvel Rivals, and I got an hour break the whole time, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, I've had something similar, but this is 3 days in a row now, so yeah.
I totally understand. I totally get it. Oh, I'm gonna do some math now while I have a moment in time.
Oh, what math are we doing?
No, just trying to add up, like, collective time. I was suggested, like, hey, maybe add up all the time you did from this weekend. I'm like, yeah, that's a fun idea. Let's see how much that adds up to, because I'm slightly curious.
oh gosh.
I can't fully calculate until this is done, obviously.
True. True. We can do whatever it is plus this stream. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll just tentatively put, like, 9 hours. So from, make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as of right now, it is between streaming all of these times and everything like that. Does that math make sense? Let me can see. Yeah, so apparently a grand total of, from this very moment right here, 25 hours and 58 minutes.
25 hours? Good lord.
Yeah, and it'll probably hit 26 here very shortly. Very, very shortly. Hey, I'm feeling good, bro. I'm still feeling good. I'd go another day if I needed to. Give me day 4 for no reason. Give it to me. But everybody, like I said, we are just waiting on this third and final map here against Portugal and Turkey, and we gotta think of what the ban situation is going to be like, and it's fully in control of Turkey. And to be fair, I feel like there's a possibility that maybe they just take us back to where it all ended last time, Atlas, where they ended up winning 3-1. It was a little bit touch and go, but I think they did a really good job of things after the second half of that map started. So we'll see what they do in terms of bans. But I mean, realistically, I mean, you saw what they were running into. I mean, what do you not want to have to walk into if you're this Turkish squad?
Zarya.
Rafal the Zarya is definitely a very effective choice.
Kami is taking billions of damage. It's disgusting how much damage this guy is taking. I don't really know any other ban that we could take off the table. Maybe like an Emre, but I just feel like the Zarya is the only smart choice, right?
I mean, it's one of these smart choices, definitely. Like, certainly so. But I kind of look like all they've like run into right now, and things looked better for the squad when they were, you know, walking into the fellow Ramatra. It was a lot better for them in that case. But we're in this scenario now, and it's like, hey, what do y'all want to do elsewise? Because you go in, and to be fair, Turkey don't accept they have a pretty good attack, all things considered, with the same comp they basically just walked into. And we saw earlier that I think we assumed that the Sojourn might have been banned out. If that's still an option, maybe take Teokalini off the Sojourn. Like, realistically speaking, I don't know if I want them on it. Or maybe you could also double down and just say, we thought maybe the Ana was banned already, potentially. If not, Ana's a good ban too. Force Rod FD to go and do something else. Because right now that Ana has been like the titular thing that has kept Rafa alive in a lot of these fights. So I might have to go down that route instead. I don't know. I don't know if there's a definitive correct answer, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it will just kind of be up to these teams. I mean, obviously we can make assumptions, we can make estimations, but it is going to be them at the end of the day. So, you know, they're going to have to be the ones deciding, you know, what the plan is, what's the ideal move.
I'm sure we'll see here very shortly what the case is going to be. We appreciate y'all still being in here for this final map we're going to witness here today, but it's been a very long day. It's not nearly over for me, and man, like I knew Hunter was going to like regret it on like Sunday night, which it is slowly becoming, but at the same time, it's like I would not trade it for the world, man.
No, God, fun. No. This has been fantastic. I'm so happy to be in this.
Oh my God, Psycho is on freaking Sierra right now, brother.
Is on what right now? Sierra?
Yeah.
Chills.
Oh, but hey, all things considered, we're ready to end this thing right here and now. We are watching Havana, and it looks like we are going to be finishing on Havana as well, as this is where things are going to come to their natural end here. And it's Havana, so you know what's coming next. Dirt Gaming is coming in place of Cabby, and Dank Pancake coming back in to take the place of Warrior, as we'll see how this ends up going down. But for Team Turkey, with what they're showing right here with Braven on the Genji in this instance, that is fascinating to me.
Yeah, Braven has been locking this Genji on the occasion, so maybe that will be the good luck charm that they need. Portugal going to be attacking first, and we do see Rafa on that Doomfist just for the time being, so maybe it is a Zarya ban that had come through. I think that's a pretty smart ban if it is the case. Very interesting backline here, but I do not want to fall for any bait just yet, so we'll have to figure out if they're going to actually be sticking to this composition.
The contract said Finn Balor.
See what happens here. Final map between these two teams. Winner moves on to the EMEA qualifiers for the World Cup, as it's going to be Portugal starting out on the attack. We'll try to see a good look as to what the ban potentially was, but right now are the things we've brought into witness. The Sojourn and the Ana, both very much still in effect. Same thing with the Zarya as well. We'll have to see what the decision-making was. I think realistically, maybe they protected their Ramatra and just banned something else out. I think that's a distinct possibility.
Definitely could be. I mean, I would mind to see a Zarya ban come. I mean, even if they ban out the Zarya, the Ramatra is still protected. So I don't entirely know why you wouldn't just ban out the Zarya. But you know, these teams are more experienced than I am, so you know they know more than I do. So we'll have to find out here as Dirt taking half HP, as Rafa just kind of walking in on Braven on that Genji. As right now, just a lot of pressure being made onto Dirt. He's got a full block for the end of time.
And unfortunately, that's what the Ramatra's made for. So that's the sucky part. But to be fair, it is what it is. Block Slop is before our eyes right now, as Rafa is being super aggro, and to be fair, is kind of being given the right to by playing these corners as efficiently as they are. But the thing to take interest right now is that we do see the double Ana on display with Ayumi and Rod FD on this one. And Ayumi, Rod, both of them have shown what they've had throughout the entire weekend on this character collectively, and it's been really phenomenal to see. But Lethal's hanging around in the backside right now, trying to deliver some pressure right now, but needs to find the finish, gets it onto Dank Pancake, and now you see everybody separate from one another. Rafa's in a bit of a rough area, as you're trying, if you're Lethal, to get literally anything right now, but that card is getting dangerously close to touching, as everyone turns on Lethal at once.
Yeah, lethal is the priority apparently from all of Portugal. They have realized that that is the alpha threat. Farouk is able to get a kill under Rod, however, as lethal has respawned. Let me go be close to that Bob as we do approach the 2-minute mark, half of the time remaining.
Certainly so. See how it ends up going down. Half the time has been expended right now. Double spore offense available right now for Turkey. For Portugal, it's right around the corner, but the most important thing to know is since there's no Lucio in play, which might be something to do with it, there is nothing to protect him from this Graviton Surge, so Rafa is probably going to push their way past really aggressively and is probably going to have to go and let this loose. But I like Kurama coming out over on the Reaper instead. All that damage going to be tossed in right now, and Dirt is going to be forced back, but Tigalini down right now. Braven able to deflect for a moment in time, but eventually will fall over as Bob going to be thrown in from Lethal to make all the room in the world as Bob is going to be very quickly removed.
I swear there was just a Bob there, Your Honor, but no, not going to be able to find out. The bubble is applied, but Farouk is taken down. It is going to be that's already dropping so incredibly low, but not going to be able to find anything. Annihilation is is trying their absolute best to keep contesting. This Reaper is dropping low, has that Wraith Force, going to be going onto that Ana. The blade is pulled from Braven, looking to get something done. However, gets Kurama. Ayumi is taken out of the equation, however. And so right now, touch! No!
To be fair, I don't know how much it does matter. I think Braven was in a really rough scenario regardless, so they're going to be able to back out of there. Lethal knows to die over on this cart. It's a little unfortunate, but all things considered, you burn off a lot of clock, but Farouk is going to get staggered a bit here. As, to be fair, this is the give and take when you don't have a Spurlsman that can sustain you, like, the entire group very heavily.
Yeah, I mean, I think neither of these types have it. Just the problem is that Grav is just so much more demanding of an ultimate than the Annihilation, right? Graviton Surge connecting onto some players is just so disgusting.
It's very disgusting. And Rafa, just honestly, the biggest thing has just been Rafa, like, just not dying. Quite frankly, this has been the biggest issue this entire time for Turkey in both of their matchups, quite frankly. It's where they were struggling the most, and Dirt has to block a lot more than he has to punch. It's double the issue. It's been really difficult for the squad to find a whole lot other than just, hey, we're going to block every single time.
Yeah, Lethal going to be coming up to that Bob here. Looks like a bubble, and the Wraith is going to be utilized. Farouk is going to be looked at next, and Raven taken out. But the Bob has been flanked and put onto the objective here as Lethal next to fall. As it's just Dirt and Ayumi left alive. As right now, it's going to be a little bit of a daunting challenge for Dirt to get out of this situation with their life. 2 minutes on the clock, as this Reaper could go massive here into securing the second point.
Yep, they're going to stay alive as well, and the biggest thing is you just have the nano for this fight. Meanwhile, I mean, you have to walk into so many things here. This fight is going to be won only by finding an early elimination in this fight, and that's why you see them hanging around down in there right now as Kurama is going to go up to the top rope. Would love to hit the trigger as they're going to be given the nano, but Lethal will also be given the trigger now, bringing back out the M-Ray, but it's going to get solo grab basically, and is going to be obliterated. And now we are here once more, and I mean, we've been here so many times. It's been the same story with Turkey on this map. Now, for the third time, Lethal swaps over to the Ash. 3 minutes on the clock. They're going to have to try to hold this down again.
This is the tale as old as time, right? Turkey have been in this situation before. Probably won't be the last time they're in the situation if they do make it qualifiers. As right now, Portugal have a goal, get it done. 2 minutes, 37 seconds on the clock. As I don't know why you didn't ban out the Zarya. This is providing too much damage, and you get the bubble and your Reaper on cooldown. I don't get it. As right now, as you do see the raid comes online, but then Punkig already taken out of the equation, so this could go the way of Turkey.
Yeah, things still kind of fine right now. Kurama is in deep, has to eventually just pull out of there. As you see, Braven is in super deep. As you're going to see this thrown onto who? Over onto Braven, who's going to attempt to burn away, will get rid of Rod FD, and now this could be exactly what you needed to pull this one back around as Kurama going to try to get out of there alive. Such is not going to happen, though, as finally Portugal wiped away. Turkey, 2 minutes left on the clock here, as this is still not going to be an easy hold by any means.
No, God, no. As right now, it's going to be really down to... It's going to be down to this Nano, this Reaper, and this OC. Right now, Turkey do have a couple ultimates online, but I think the ultimates from Portugal are stronger. Right, this Annihilation is not going to be able to match up with this Overclock and this Nano that are going to be coming online here.
Yep, here we go already as we're seeing the big aggression in right now. It's going to let it loose. It's going to catch one. It's going to catch two. And all you can do if you're Dirt, honestly, is take this L on to the point, and that they shall. It's really smart, though, to force Braven to keep playing on the outside and stagger them out a little while longer. Ralph is going to play up really aggressively as well as the overclock ready as Farouk swaps.
Yeah, but it's a little too late. The bot.
Oh, push it out. He can push it. He can push it into sight lines.
Yeah.
Annihilation as well. Dirt has nothing. Nano has to be used. Oh no, this is not looking good now at all. Farouk is being forced away inside. Braven, though, there to help things out. Rafa being forced away. Kurama hanging by a single thread right now, hoping to get out alive. Is getting a bubble perfectly timed right now as Dirt playing a little bit of limbo with their own shield as with 40 seconds left. Portugal will have a big response coming up with this grab.
Yeah, it's gonna be really difficult in order to get the job done here from the side.
What? Ayumi, you go.
Ayumi? How did they do that, Your Honor? Hello?
And Dirt now having to hold on right now, forcing away right now. Rafty has to come back over on that. As Big Stick onto Kurama, the grab used. It's gonna get rid of Lethal, but now it's a pure 4v4 as you see Braven over on the side right there. Rafa's in super deep. Kitsune Rush going to be used here. Braven is running out of resources and trying to get away. Won't be able to do so. Dirt is clinging on to life as we speak, but life is slowly being drained away from their eyes as they will fall on over. Lethal needs to be the clutch king right now as they throw their bodies onto the point in desperation, but third time will not be the charm for Turkey. They will get full capped this time around.
You die with Nano, the bubble's coming online. I don't get it. I really don't understand what Turkey's thought process was. I don't know what their ban was, but I thought the Zarya, you're just so useless. Look at Dirt. Dirt is 3 and 4 right now and has 16k mitigated. All he's doing is blocking with his hands. This is such a difficult game for Dirt to be playing right now. Not able to output the damage that you need in order to make it this even close. It's just a problem, and I don't know why you didn't take Zarya off the table. They did cap in overtime, so I guess Turkey could try to force this into the extra rounds with a time bank on their side, but this is going to be such a difficult challenge.
Yeah, there's no other easy way to put it right now. Braven, I think if Braven went to the Reaper, honestly, I wouldn't hate this. I think your biggest thing is you do have to put very heavy focus on Rafa. That's what Portugal has been doing to Turkey in both of their matchups, is throwing everything into Dirt/Kabi and making their lives miserable. Because if you shut down that Ting, you are solely putting on the likes of Braven and Lethal, who, as great as they have been, we are not in a situation where you're going to be able to turn a fight single-handedly, not without a lot of hands helping you out.
We are going to see Kurama off of the Reaper going over to the Tracer here, so maybe ease up a little bit on the backline for Turkey. Is Lethal going to be going over to that Sojourn, looking for something to get done here? This is going to be a challenge for Turkey. They need to get a cap here with a little bit of time, force extra rounds, and hope that their attack is going to be good enough.
We'll see how it goes. Right now, Turkey need to get off to a really good start. That is that feels like a requirement, quite frankly, here. As it's still the Ramatra v Zarya, as Lethal got to play a little bit further ahead. Would love to find somebody set to take off. Nearly does it to Golini as Rafa being burnt away. And that's what you need right now if you are Turkey. Take these quick fights, burn them away as Dirt. Got to be able to stay alive right here, as that is a fairly not greatly timed pause right there.
No. Oh no, that's not a good start. Okay, hopefully not another one of Turkey's players getting taken out. That would be a problem.
Thank you, Lucio. Thank you,
thank you, Lucio, for letting me know.
Oh, but I mean, regardless of the scenario at hand, what we have before us is a weird scenario where, to be fair, this is exactly how Turkey need to start. You throw all this into Rafa, you burn them down, and everyone immediately jumps on it. That's great. But now this is about trying to catch people out. If you can get a pick like Tiebreaker here super late, you can make it a lot tougher for Portugal to try to stay in this one. And as we're coming back in, we'll find out if they can do such a thing.
There they are.
Yeah, we'll have to find out, of course, as right now Dirt did get that kill onto Rod a little bit late into the game. as it is going to allow Turkey to keep that push going right now. 3 minutes on the clock. As oh my gosh, Kurama almost taken off the board, but not able to just yet. Lethal going to be halfway to that overclock as Portugal going to be a little bit of a challenge here in order for them to get this done. As right now, oh, Braven getting dropping a little low, but Portugal are going to be back in time. Braven a little bit behind in terms of that full bomb. Kurama really going to be the only ult on the table.
Dirt needs
Dude,
literally
Dirt,
everything.
dude, he's just
Dirt.
taking too much damage.
It's still a 4v4, but Rafa has all the health and care in the world. You just can't take that fight, especially as Braven is lucky to still be standing right now. Eventually has to back out of there. Tiebreaker just is prime and waiting for that correct headshot to take him out. But remember, Ayumi, because they have lived throughout almost this entire affair, Kitsune Rush is ready, and there's no reason why in about 3 seconds they're just going to do a heavy approach as Pulse Bomb thrown out. Finds no recipients as Kitsune Rush is going to be there, and they are going to go fully in to, well, actually, Kurama going down first. Rod of D is getting forced away, but right now they need to throw 3 bodies on, force them to get in here right now, as somehow Rafa is still sitting at like half health right now. Dirt is being drilled into right now. This Pulse Bomb needs to stick right now. It's going to miss, though, and somehow they're going to throw this fight down the drain, dude.
Dude, come on, Turkey, please, bro. I'm begging of you. As right now, it is going to be an issue, as Lethal did pop that overclock as well. They're just not able to secure any kills because there's bubbles galore from Rafa. A minute 38 left on the clock. There are 2 ultimates going online for Turkey. It's the beat and it's the annihilation. But Portugal have the grab available. That's going to be such a devastating ult, as there's an overclock immediately onto Farouk. That was one of your ultimates that was online, and Dirt is doing nothing but holding his hands together.
That's all he can do, as, oh my god, Raven's now gone as well. Lethal, nothing you can do there. You just have to run for it. Unfortunately, you're not even going to get let out the gate, and now you almost have to go into this fight, and you're praying that Rafa uses it this fight right here, because if not, this might be done and over with, honestly. Scary to say.
Stream, come back. My stream is lagging.
Mine is also lagging. That means we're in the same boat right now. So stream is lagging for, there it is. All right, we're back. We are so back. Okay, cool. 1 minute left on the clock. Annihilation ready to go. As Dirt, just, man, I don't know what you do if you're Dirt. I have no idea what you do, but at the very least, you got to go in here. You got to make this your own right here, right now.
You could mirror Pulse Bomb. Nice cleanse, however, from Ayumi. As the speed is available from Farouk here. It has to go massive. There's the grab, however. Going to connect into a couple players in the back. There's the beat from both sides. As there goes Farouk. That was really fun. I interacted. So right now, Lethal going to slide onto the high ground there, and not going to be able to find any other picks. As Dirt still holds onto this annihilation as we do approach the 30-second remaining mark. As Rafa taking low, but it doesn't matter because they actually have supports. So now Turkey going to have 3 ults of their own, a rush, an annihilation, and a pulse bomb, as Portugal don't have anything in response.
Yeah, Punky though gets hit with a nice kunai from Ayumi now, but that doesn't mean this thing's done and over with right now. Rafa is going to get bursted into, eventually falls over. Lethal has to fly in there, unfortunately. Had to accept death or death, and now it's down to Portugal to hang around the point for as long as possible. It's down to the limit, and Annihilation has to be popped here to secure this one. At least they're attempting to secure it. It's down to 1 more member. It's hanging around over on the point. Dirt gets rid of 3. They will keep themselves alive for the time being.
Yeah, really good fight win that you absolutely needed to have go your way. Otherwise, I mean, it would have been a drastic situation. As right now, it's looking like this could go either way still. As both of these teams are still in even footing and even playing ground. 2 minutes on the clock. Double DPS ults from the side of Turkey. As I'm getting... As Portugal do have the rush available to them. That's going to be a little bit of a problem for Turkey to deal with here.
Definitely a bit of a problem right now, as Kurama's going to give plenty of pressure over on the point. As Recall does get forced away, so Kurama is kind of having to force away a little out of the fight right now, but has plenty of care still. The important part is that Braven is still getting a ton of progress over on this point and keeping things going. Dirt around the corners. Lethal's going to let this one loose as well. Rafa is down in the corner, gets taken out. This is the key you need right here. That's why it's big, as Kurama gets their head taken off as well. Lethal backing out, as you might see everyone, just have to hard pull out of here. You're going to put 3 on this point, make it as hard as possible for Portugal to force their way on.
Yeah, really, really, really necessary fight for them to win. As right now, this is looking like this could go either way still. Both of these teams are going to be doing their absolute best in order to get the job done. However, an overclock from the side of Tiebreaker Is going to be able to shut down Lethal. That's not a good start. A minute left on the clock. Farouk is dead, and that's going to be a reset there for Turkey. They don't have many more of them left.
No, a realistic, honestly, low key, especially if these late deaths coming through. I think you realistically have one left with the amount of time it's going to take to set up. So you are hoping, you are praying that you can get the Sound Barrier Annihilation online, and if Rafa gets a grab on, that might just be your GG's.
Yeah, and just a reminder, this is deciding the last spot for the EMEA qualifiers. Whoever wins this map wins the last available spot for the Conference Cups. This is the final matchup of the day, and 24 seconds left. Turkey have a couple of ults, but this is going to be a gauntlet to get through. No!
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh my god, yeah, Farouk almost walked into that. That is scary. Dirt's hanging in there as well. I love this. You see Braven moving super aggro, trying to go and touch the point. Dirt needs care right here, right now. Braven needs to start putting pressure over this card. That they will, but they're there to be right now. Team Galini sitting super low. Rodaf has Sound Bearer, and Rodaf is just going to wait on theirs. No rush whatsoever. And now this could end very, very badly. Ayumi trying to get out alive is so close to having this online. Eventually falls over. Dirt has Annihilation, and it needs to be absolutely massive as Rafa forced away. It's going to take care of business, and you see the missed jump over there from Tio Golini might keep things going for the squad. It's down to a pure 3v3, but the Stawns so much closer here for the other squad as you force them over off onto the point. Rod, Dan Pancake, all so low as Kurama doing everything in their power to stay on at this point as long as humanly possible. Is so close to pulling everybody down, but Rafa's coming around the corner with a Graviton Surge. This needs to be here in a couple seconds or else this one might be over as it's going to get thrown in there. Braven down, Kitsune Rush there, and Rafa, try as they might, is not going to be able to stop this push. They'll keep it going, and Turkey hang on by the skin of their teeth.
Dude, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I genuinely might have a heart attack. This is not good for my health. I've been casting for 9 straight hours, and I mean, you're telling me that Turkey is gonna be in double overtime situation in order to cap. I mean, they have a couple of ultimates coming online. They don't have supports. Rafa gonna make a swap over to that Ramatra for some reason, as the overclock is still available here for Tekalium. As Kurama gonna have that pulse bomb available, which could go absolutely massive here. Turkey to win 2 more fights in a row in order to potentially get extra rounds.
Well, let's see what goes down. Dirt's getting a ton of pressure already. Has to pop their own Nemesis form. Is getting, I mean, literally everything. It's being read the Riot Act, basically. And now you're hoping you live long enough for Dirt to maybe stick around, but unfortunately such is not going to be the case. Pulse bomb thrown out right here as Lethal is going to try to let this one loose. It's going to get nothing, though. And now with 30 seconds left, they're staring down the barrel of double support ultimates.
This is a problem. This is a huge problem. Lethal gonna swap over to the Hanzo for the last moment, the last fight, I guess. Pulse bomb is available. Farouk almost has that beat, but this is 16 seconds left. Portugal have their own support ults. Ayumi halfway. This is gonna be a really big problem. The pulse bomb not gonna be able to get any kills from Braven, as it is going to be the last fight territory. 4 seconds left on the clock. Can Turkey push it in this overtime situation?
It's down to it. You're going to try to pull the trigger really quickly for Portugal. You do not want to leave any room for Dirt to find inherent value right now. Sound Barrier ready to go. Overclock ready to go. Tiaglini is in a bit of a rough scenario, eventually going to get what they need. And this is utter patience from Portugal. We're finally going to pull the trigger. Farouk has a Sound Barrier ready to go. Lethal is suffering a little bit, but Dirt is suffering way more. They pull the trigger. They throw everything they have into Dirt, who needs the survivability, who needs every bit of care from Ayumi, who's about to have this Kitsune Rush ready to go. It's used, and now they're staying in this one momentarily. Remember, the spawns so incredibly close right here. Ayumi forcing the way back in, is fighting as much as they can, but the Annihilation is going to shut it all down. Turkey, they give it their all, but they will come up an inch and a half short, and Portugal will take your 5th and final spot into the EMEA qualifiers.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
There's not a whole lot to say about that one. It's just, it ends with the ultimate just being so heavily in favor of Portugal.
I'm so sad. Why? Why not ban the Zarya? I need to check Dirt's mitigation. I swear to God, all they were doing were taking damage the entirety of the time. All Dirt was doing on that Ramatra was just holding block. I swear on everything that I know and love.
just don't go the Ramatra into the Zarya. You can mirror it potentially. Oh my gosh. Just so frustrating because Turkey is better than that, and they've beaten Portugal before with the same exact squad. I just, unfortunate situation for Turkey as that's going to be their hopes dashed across the concrete floor as they're not going to be going on any further in this World Cup journey.
Man. It's a rough journey. It's a hard-fought journey for Team Turkey. It really is. And the fact that it has come up just barely this short, it's unfortunate. This is a team that they've beaten before, for that matter. I don't know. It's rough. It stems all the way back to that first loss against Belgium, realistically. And it just doesn't go their way then, and they have to fight their way back pretty much the rest of the tournament to even get to this position in the first place, unfortunately. I mean, they run into Austria, and Austria just knows exactly what they want to do in that fight. They take them down. And it feels like they have the number of Portugal again. They beat them on the one map they weren't able to do so. And then they choose to bring it over to Havana and bring in Dirt. And Dirt does what he can. But he has to hold block the entire time because all 5 members of Portugal just looking directly at him the entire time. There's
It's a
not
shame.
a lot of words for it.
It is a shame. We've been watching these boys from the very beginning. We watched tryouts. We watched every single day they were in the Conference Cup trying and fighting tooth and nail in order to secure their spot going into the qualifiers, but it's not going to go their way. Turkey going to be getting 6th spot